Welcome back to ARK. So as I mentioned at the end of the last one, I was going to get another Pteranodon just as a spare, so I have in fact gone and done that. And so moving on with new things, trying to get some resources and finding somewhere to set up a proper base. And for resources, now I have a Pteranodon, I can actually attack some things. That I'm not entirely sure on, but those Parasaurs I should be able to take down. And that tech one is going to drop some electronics and stuff, so I definitely want to try and get in on that quickly. Just keeping an eye on what that Alpha's doing. One Parasaurs, this is going to try and run away. Okay, so I got that, so that's giving me more oil, more electronics. My intention here is basically I just don't think I'm ever going to make electronics on this server. I should be able to find plenty. And also killing stuff's going to give me experience points on this Pteranodon, so I can level up the speed a bit more, level up the HP and level up the damage. Though I guess Parasaurs don't give a huge amount of XP. Just grab some stamina as well. Maybe I need to upgrade stamina a little bit. But that's all good resources. The toxic blood will be very useful. Toxic hide really depends if I decide to make a saddle for a toxic dinosaur or not. You can kind of just skip them over because, well, basically because dodos and dillos are so easy to tame that I can go get like an alpha dodo or an apex dillo without necessarily having the high level thing from the tier before. And enforcers, another good target. So, not sure what he's fighting there, penguin or something. Actually, I'm not sure, some sort of bird. But, okay, that's bad. Do I want my high movement speed? So I got boots back into water. One of the slightly frustrating things at times is that if you're on a flyer, and as far as I know it's all the flyers, and you touch the water, it throws you off the saddle. I don't really understand why it does that, but you have to be very careful sometimes. I didn't think I was going to get like pushed back quite as violently as that. So I'm going to try and sneak up behind it this time, so if I get booped again I'll be booped away from the water. There you go, I've got more oil, scrap metal and electronics. And I think I'm okay killing this. Because it is getting pushed back by my attacks and it doesn't be doing a massive amount of damage. On the other hand, I could really do some more damage against it. That's going to need quite a lot more leveling up. So this fight might take a little bit of time. It does have a lot more health than I do. Finally dead. So okay, I guess my organic polymer, there's not really much there to be worried about. It's not going to be a good way of farming that. What's this? Oh, you can... maybe I'll use it later. You can build your own enforcers using like the blueprint they drop on death. But given it would be a standard enforcer, not like a primal one or anything particularly smart, I'm not sure how useful that will actually be. But I got a lot of XP for killing that, so that's nice. Like Sarko killed itself. Turtles, this is going to be some free resources. And Apex as well, so having Apex blood definitely nice. Keratin, that's nice. And I guess that'll just give me hide. And yeah, I could kill it, but it's got 36,000 health. It's going to be a pain to kill right now. Okay, so Alpha is very badly hurt, so I'm going to try and finish it off. Hopefully this doesn't go wrong, because that is an Alpha that's fairly powerful. But yeah, it was so low on health, I figured might as well. It's over there. So sometimes you should get like items when you kill those. Sometimes the items drop as a bag. Not entirely sure what the rationale is behind when and where. Now the blueprint there, I don't think that's a very good blueprint. But you can get much better ones from killing dinosaurs sometimes. It's based on like the primal tier they are. So like Fabled will get better than Alphas. And again, it just dropped it on the ground. So what do we get? So we got some taming helpers. That's where I get a lot of my taming helpers from later on. Potents, actually I could check that. Yeah, I thought the colour, like 1600 durability, it's not worth the cost of making it because it'll break too easily. So in terms of like narcotics, you've got the stuff I was making. Then there's narcotics using the seeds, narcotics using toxic. Then there's alpha narcotics. Then there's apex narcotics. So getting resources to make apex ones is actually really handy. And apex dillos are probably the easiest apex thing to get. And the other thing that drew my attention over here was this trike, level 300. So I have a plan to try and get some organic polymer quickly, which involves the crabs, but I don't want to attack the crabs with this. In fact, I actually want to be widening the thing at all because of the supporting the crabs is they have an attack that will grab you and pick you up. I want them to not use that on me, but I'm sending a sacrificial trike by itself to kind of get its attention, and that would be a much safer way of going about things. Now the biggest problem here, well, an Alio is safe because the Dillos are dead. It's going to take a lot of narcotics to really take that down, so because I'm going for a high level tame, I'm going to actually try and upgrade my arrows first, I think. I believe I have resources to do a limited number of those. If we search through this for narcotics, what I want to make is potent. And what I want to make it into is potent arrows because of this 9 times more potent. Which means to get that trike or anything else, it's 9 times easier. That's a huge upgrade. So I should have my Primal Smith around here somewhere still, because I've still not really made a base. I mean, I've put stuff down, but it's not a base, it's just structures, I guess. So I want my basic narcotics. So I'll make some more. Let's make... I think I get 5 at a time with this mod, yeah. So that's quite a few of those. And my seeds. That's those and those ones. Make 50 of these right now. And then if we check arrows, so I want to make this. I actually already picked up 9 from killing some like alphas and stuff. They drop it randomly. But I think I was going to need more than just the 9 to... I don't know, maybe 9 would be enough, but better play it safe than sorry when it comes to taming stuff. I'm going to pick all my stuff back up there. Make the potent ones. Probably actually made way more than I needed, but oh well. It's not a particularly valuable resource, especially with the harvest rates, I can just get more easily. And I think I can just kite this. And then I'll have to use a bunch of taming helper because it's going to need 54 berries. I don't have kibble yet. Let's see what that does. So it's doing 300 or 400 per hit. Do need to avoid hitting the armoured section. So if I come up here, it's probably not going to be able to follow me. Hit the armoured section after all. Trying hard not to do that. I'm going to back up just because if it does attack right there, it's possible it would like hit me with its... Like, there's like a range if you like on the attack because it's such a large dinosaur. Am I using the right things? I almost feel like I'm not. I'm using the right ones, it's just a really tanky trike. I mean, well, to be in perspective, like, Tranodon, can't see one around here. Like, it was a couple of thousand, not like 5,000, I believe. Like, use a turnaround, I'm going to shoot it in the leg. Yeah, leg works. So it can't get to me, so this is going to be a nice, easy tame. Just keep shooting away. There's a weird delay on the reload there, not sure what's up with that. Okay, so it's starting to run away. I've still got quite a way to go though. So that's counting as an armor hit for some reason. Is it lagged out? Quite possibly, because now my hits aren't registering. It's registering there. And I think the game desynchronized. Okay, but it is out. Never seen that happen before. Sometimes like hits don't register, but that was like completely off. So major berries is going to need 54 of those. I'm just going to give it all of those. And it's probably going to need a couple of taming helper rounds. But I'm just going to see how it goes. And it is done. I was just getting some flint while I was waiting. Because flint is useful to make spark powder, and I was literally just waiting around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that off for now. I'm actually going to make it a saddle, I think, because even though I don't intend to ride it for the purpose at hand, there's armor on the saddle, so it gets damage reduction, that's all good. And then I can boost up its health. And because it's such a high level to start with, actually I'm going to ride it just to boost XP, because getting like the first 10 levels, like, I'll probably get a level from doing just that. I did. Okay, so I was going to attack that. I realised just in time, it's a kamikaze dodo. A small little one. Looks innocent enough until you get close to it and you can see like the smoke effect coming off of it. That would explode and kill me, possibly kill the Pteranodon. Going to leave that dodo alone. Still looking for the crab, but there's a low level defense unit there, so I'll possibly chance it. That primal tech could be an issue. Okay, they're fighting. I'm going to intervene and try and get some kills in. Because that took there. You can see the primal tech compared to a normal tech press, that did a lot more damage. But the reason I wanted to kill that is because of cementing paste drop. That's going to be really handy. I like the idea very much of not having to make so much cementing paste. And this status effect, you can actually see there's a gash whatever attack from the primal tech. It does do quite a bit of damage over time. So if you can have a nice and quick and short fight against them, that's good. But you don't want to have a drawn out fight against those things. Yeah, so flying back the other way, I have seen this alpha one. So going for an alpha is going to be a little bit more risky. So I'm going to try and secure the area a bit first. So start with what is this problem over here. Tech Raptor. It's quite low on health though. If that gets attacked by the Sarco, lucky. Or just picking on the Parasaur. I'm going to go demonic over there. So it is getting worse by the second. So there's no way I'm doing anything near that demonic. It's level 300 as well, and it's got reasonably good stats. So yeah, I know I'm doing anything anywhere near that thing. Might just have to go find a different crab. Sometimes you just have to go do something else. Worth the risk. Taking a lot of damage though. It's staying away from the demonic, and something else is hurting it. That's that tech parasaur that I was also worried about. Raptor over there to worry about, a demonic and a parasaur. Okay, so the parasaur's killed it. I'm just going to steal its corpse. It's going to be the easiest chitin and polymer ever. And this is basically why I wanted to go find them. So, other than the good source of blood, 280 polymer and 2,700 chitin in one go. So that's actually going to do me for a while, but I'm going to try and find another one. Just got much to show like how I was intending to try and solo it. So another thing turned up that's kind of too good to pass up, but this fairy seems to be stuck on the cliff. It's low level, should be easy to tame, and it'll be good at getting wood. You're also good at harvesting corpses to get blood specifically, as well as hide. It's just good at harvesting in general. Very good at mushrooms, very good at flowers. I guess the one thing it's really not good at is what it can't do at all. It's basically stone, metal, that sort of hard stuff. I'll land up here, make sure we don't lose anything. Kill that bug. Don't want to fight it by myself. You get chitin from these, but you get such a small amount even with high harvest rates. I really think it's not worth the effort actually looking for them for the purpose of getting chitin. Unless you're really desperate and at the time with what you've got on the map you want and stuff, that you really can't find anything else at all that drops chitin. Don't find that fairy without falling off the cliff. Didn't move. Died over there. There it is. So I should just be able to shoot it from up here. Is it actually glitched? Got a tail. Okay, that's how it works. about to get worried if it can actually get up here. Shouldn't be able to climb up this cliff, but I don't even know how it got to where it is right now. It's kind of got stuck halfway. Of course, if I do knock it out, okay, it's going down there. Okay, so if I do knock it out somewhere like floating, then I've got to try and look at how I'm going to get to it to put the berries into it. That was a terrible shot. Be a couple more of these. That'll do it actually. It's going to try and run away. I think it's already taken, yeah, it's already taken enough hits. Now I'm going to try and slide down the edge of this cliff because it's not quite vertical. As long as I don't fall to like full distance, I won't take any damage. So it's still actually floating the way it's passed out there. So what's it need? 13, so it's not going to take too long. Let's give it anywhere near that many. I do want to keep some, just in case I need them for other things, and I'll put them in the base eventually. Let's give it a taming helper to get it moving quickly. And so this is something I by no means needed this early on, but it's convenient to get it. A few more seconds, and there we go. So that massive fireball and explosion, and the other one, this is why you don't mess with demonics until much later. Because if I was essentially anywhere around there, or even just like too low in the air, they would have killed me. So your other option, if you can't find any organic polymer, you don't want to make polymer, is you can come out into snow zone, and to help with this I have actually gone for hide armor. It's going to break easy in combat, but I did it for the insulation so I don't lose my health quite as much. Now you can go get penguins, which are the same as normal ARKs, so they're basically completely passive in their little flocks and provide a relatively decent supply of organic polymer. Okay, so I'm actually finding any of these crabs. I'm sure if another player's killed them all, if they've all spawned and got stuck somewhere. It's kind of odd, because there were loads around earlier. And you can always go to the cold zone like I showed if you need organic polymer, you just can't find one of these crabs. But they are a much better resource for it because they can drop multiple hundreds. If you have a ferry to harvest it, you can get thousands quite easily, and thousands of chitin. A soul gun can actually pick this up a lot easier. Don't have to switch the weapon. So what I'm going to do before I finish is I'm just going to build a little hut. Now it's going to be a very simple, like, I'm not going to build like a proper full base right now because this stage of the game is not too much as needed. I'm going to try and pick some higher ground because it annoys me personally when the foliage like starts sticking through. I can build a 2x4. It's not the best place ever, I guess, because stuff can spawn over there. But the stuff down there can't get up here, and if anything was up here being annoying, I could always like lead it off the edge of the cliff. But yeah, it's an okay spot, not a perfect spot. The teleporter down, which means I'll be able to use the remote teleporter in the future. Find myself here, so that's just like, select it's going to be at the bottom, and it's there. And there's just going to be your standard like ARK hut. I'm not going to do anything particularly pretty right now, I just want something simple but safe. So there's nothing particularly special to say about Primal Fear in this regard. Now what you build is still going to be like the same sort of, you want a smith, you want a forge, some storage, a bed. The one special thing I would say is don't bother with wood and stone. Don't bother with thatch and wood rather. So this applies actually even in like standard ARK, that dinosaurs can like damage certain tiers of structure. So they can damage certain tiers of structure, which means basically you want to build the higher tier. But this applies a lot more in Primal Fear because there's a lot more aggressive stuff. And it's my experience that like it's much more likely for a wood or thatch structure to get attacked and destroyed by something. Especially stuff with AoE attacks like the demonics. They can still break stone, but stone has a lot more hit points, is a bit safer. Still wouldn't promise it won't get attacked and destroyed. It is possible, it has happened to me. You could go for metal. Problem with metal is you start needing lots of cementing paste. It's a lot harder to build. And like at least the stage I am right now, I'm not quite ready to do that. And tech stuff, well, you get the tech shield. I mean, well, the shield would solve the whole problem, but I'm nowhere near that right now on this game. And some other things that I want to get started, like growing crops and stuff, I'm not going to actually do them right now. This is just minimal, so I can go take a break. And it's basically a minimal type of thing that keep your stuff safe, so you don't have to carry everything around with you all the time, because at some point it becomes too much to carry. I'm already up to like 1400 weight carrying. And you can make them like give the appearance of wood or stuff if you want like a visual appearance with a switch to, or you can like use the multi-tool. So you don't have to make it look like a stone block, you can actually make it look nice. But as far as stats go, it's still using the stats of stone, is the key point here. And actually, it's one last thing worth mentioning, I guess, before I finish. So I do actually have like a larger base in my tribe. So the problem there is I messed up the recording and I lost some of this early content. But for now, I'll be carrying on with this, so I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe to see more.